Welcome to the lecture room. Myself, Dr. Rajiv Trivedi, Assistant Professor in Nirmala College, Diocese Ujjain. Now, today's topic, ray optics second, in which different parts are present. First, refraction through a prism. Second, expression for refractive index of prism. Third, dispersion. Fourth, angular dispersion and dispersive power. Fifth, why blue color of the sky and red color of the sun. Sixth, compound microscope and astronomical telescope normal adjustment. Next, astronomical telescope for the image of least distinct at distinct vision. Ninth, Newtonian telescope reflecting type. Last, resolving power of microscope and telescope. Now, first topic, refraction of light through a prism. In figure, capital ABC is a prism. N1O is a normal on the refracting surface AB, and N2O2 is a perpendicular on the another refracting surface AC. Now let us consider light ray incident at angle I with the normal. If this surface is not present in the path of this ray, then this ray moving in a straight line. But since this prism ABC are present in this path of this ray, then this light ray bend away from the normal and comes into P2Q position. But this light again incident on the surface AC, then it bend which is inclined at AC surface. Means this is the angle of incidence, this is the angle of incidence emergent ray, and these two are reflected rays. If these light rays moving in a straight line in the absence of prism, and this is the emergent ray extended in back direction, then this ray and this ray, this angle is called angle of minimum deviation. Then in triangle, in quadrilateral APOQ, A plus O, this angle of prism, and O equal to 180, first equation. And in triangle OPQ means this angle plus this angle plus this angle equal to 180. Now this is the I, so this is the I1, so this is the I1, or I, so I, this is whole also I, so this position I minus R1, this is the, and this position, this is the E, then this is the E, then this becomes E minus R2. Then delta, angle of minimum deviation equal to, means this angle and this angle will be equal to, represented by this angle of deviation. I plus E minus common kiya R1 plus R2, putting by 1 and 2, so A equal to R1 plus R2. By 1 and 2, A equal to R1 plus R2, and by 3, delta equal to I plus delta and R1 plus R2 equal to A. That means I plus E equal to delta minus delta plus A. This is the last. Sum of angle of incidence and emergent will be equal to the sum of angle of prism and angle of minimum deviation. Next है variation of angle of deviation with angle of incidence. If angle of incidence increases, then the angle of deviation decreases, shown by the figure. This is the angle of incidence takes in x-axis and angle of deviation takes in y direction, and we draw graph. If I increases, then angle of deviation will be decreases. This when the angle of incidence will be equal to angle of emergent ray, then during this time, this deviation is called angle of minimum deviation. Means if I equal to E, means angle of incidence will be equal to emergent ray, then angle of deviation is called angle of minimum deviation. And R1 equal to R2 equal to R. Say, after minimum deviation, angle of deviation increases with angle of incidence. Means after angle of minimum deviation, if angle of incidence increases, then deviation again increases. Now next point, refractive index of material of prism. We know that A equal to R1 plus R2. If R1 and R2 are same, then A equal to 2R, then R equal to A upon 2. And in last topic, we can discuss I plus E equal to A plus delta. Since I and E are same, then 2I equal to A plus delta M, because if I equal to E same, then angle of deviation is called angle of minimum deviation. Then 2I equal to A plus delta M, or I equal to A plus delta M upon 2. By the Snell's law, mu equal to sine I upon sine R1 or sine I upon sine R. Then putting the value of R in this position and putting the value of I in this position, we get this relation. This is called formula for refraction. Next question, refraction by a small angled prism for small angle of incidence. By the Snell's law, when light ray comes from rare to denser medium, then by the Snell's law, mu equal to sine I upon sine R. And when light moves from prism to air medium, then by the Snell's law, mu equal to sine E upon R1. If I is assumed to be small, then R1, R2 and E are also is small. If I, E, R1, R2 is very small, then sine I equal to I, sine E equal to E, sine R1 equal to R1 and sine R2 equal to R2. Then mu equal to I upon R1 and mu equal to E upon R2. Then I plus E by the cross multiplication, E equal to mu R2 and I equal to mu R1. Adding both equations, I plus E equal to mu R1 plus R2, and we know that R1 plus R2 equal to A. But I plus delta equal to A plus delta, then A plus delta equal to mu A, then delta equal to A mu minus 1. This is called angle of deviation. Next topic is dispersion of white light through prism. In figure, A, B, C is a prism which have two refracting surface. Now this is the normal on the surface AB. Now if white light is incident on the surface AB and when entered in a prism, then white light when entered from air medium to glass medium, it separated into 7 colors. V, I, B, G, Y, O, R. Means in this white light is split into 7 colors. First violet, second indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. If this prism is not available in the path of this white light ray, then this is the direction of white light. Then deviation of this red light from this position are represented by delta R. The deviation of this light from this is represented by del O. The deviation of white light, yellow light from this ray is represented by del Y. The deviation of green is represented by del G. Deviation of B means blue from this light is called del V. Deviation of I with this light is del I, and deviation of violet from this light ray is called del V. the difference of angle of minimum deviation del V and del R is called dispersion, right? Causes of dispersion, mu equal to sin I upon sin R, mu equal to sin I upon sin R by the Snell's law. For the violet light, for the red light, mu V equal to sin I upon sin RV or mu R equal to sin I upon sin R. So since the refractive index of violet is very high in comparison to red, similarly the refraction angle is very high for red in comparison to violet. So the colors are refracted at different angles and hence get separated. Next question है, dispersion can also be explained on the basis of Cauchy's equation. On the basis of Cauchy's equation, dispersion can be shown by mu equal to A plus B upon lambda square plus C upon lambda की power 4. A, B, C are a constant for the materials. We know that the wavelength for the violet light is very less in comparison to wavelength of red color, and refractive index of violet is greater than from the red color, and we know that delta equal to A mu minus 1, delta is the angular deviation, then del V greater than del R. If refractive index is more in comparison to red, then deviation of violet is more in comparison to R. So the colors get separated with different angles of deviation. Violet is most deviated and red is least deviated, because violet means angle of deviation for violet is very high in comparison to red. That means violet color maximum deviated and red color ray is small deviated from their original path. Next question, angular dispersion. The difference in the angle of deviation for violet and red is called angular dispersion. The difference in the deviation suffered by the two colors in passing through a prism gives the angular dispersion for those colors. Second, the angle between the emergent ray of any two colors is called angular dispersion between those colors. Third, it is the rate of change of deviation with wavelength. That is theta equal to d lambda upon, means the rate of change of angle of deviation with wavelength is called theta. Theta is called angular dispersion, or it is also represented by theta, means the difference of angle of deviation for violet and red color is called angular dispersion, and angular dispersion are represented by theta equal to mu v minus mu r. For violet color, putting this value here, for red color putting this value here, and we get this equation. Now next, dispersive power. Dispersive power means dispersive power of any material of prism of any two color is defined as the ratio of angular dispersion to the angle of deviation, right? Means we can say dispersion per unit deviation is called dispersive power. That is, the dispersive power of any material of prism for any two colors is defined as the ratio of angular dispersion for those two colors to the mean deviation produced by the prism. It is written by this equation. But in this position, del V and del R, there are 7 colors V, I, B, G, Y, O, R. If deviation are nearly same, then mean deviation del V plus del R upon 2 equal to del. And we know that omega equal to del V, theta means del V minus del R upon delta. So omega equal to del V minus del R means this, and delta means this, or W equal to mu V minus mu R upon mu Y minus 1. Next important part is scattering of light, blue color of sky and reddish appearance of the sun at sunrise and sunset, because according to Rayleigh's law, the intensity of any light inversely proportional to fourth power of wavelength. If the wavelength is very high, then intensity is very low. But if wavelength is very low, then intensity is very high. Then for the blue color, the intensity is very high because blue color have low wavelength, but the red color have high wavelength, then intensity of red color is very small. This is called Rayleigh's effect. Next question, compound microscope. Compound microscope is an optical device used to see magnifying images of tiny objects or particles. In figure, this is the lens of low focal length, and this is the lens of large focal length. Since this lens kept towards object, it is called objective lens. Since this lens kept towards eye is called eyepiece or eye lens. Now let us consider object AB is present between first and second focal point. Light travel from B and incident on this, and light refracted passing through focus comes at this position, and any other light from the object also passing through optical center and comes after refraction in this position. Means both refracted rays intersect at this each other at this point. Then this is the object for this objective lens, and A dash B dash is the image for this objective lens. Now, if any other eyepiece lens or eye lens introduced, then this image for the objective lens becomes object for the eyepiece, and image of this eyepiece formed by A dash, A double dash, B double dash, right? Then angle formed by the object with the principal axis is alpha, and angle formed by the image with the optic axis is beta. Then we know that magnifying power means m equal to length of image to the length of object. Angular magnification or magnifying power will be equal to angle formed by the image to the angle formed by the object, or it is also represented by length of image to the length of object. Then m equal to beta upon alpha. From figure, calculate tan alpha and tan beta. If alpha and beta is very small, then alpha equal to tan alpha and beta equal to tan beta, and putting tan alpha and tan beta in the above equation, and we get this equation. After that, m equal to means magnifying power of compound microscope is equal to the product of magnifying power of eye lens and magnifying power of objective lens, and this is the magnifying power of simple microscope. Then m equal to 1 minus v upon fe. Putting all values this, we get these two equations. And for the distinct vision, distance of image will be minus 25 centimeter, and magnifying power of the object will be VO upon U, and putting these two values in this equation, and we get this result. Since the object is placed very close to the principal focus of the objective and image is formed very close to eyepiece, then UO equal to FO and VO equal to FL. Means putting U0 means F0 and V0 means D, or normal adjustment or image at infinity. Next question, astronomical telescope. Astronomical telescope is a device used to see stars, satellites in the space. In figure, light coming from infinity and all lights are remains parallel with each other incident on this objective lens. After refraction, all rays meet at this point. Means for this lens, object at its infinity and image at its FE. This is the another lens is called eye lens. This is the object for this lens and image becomes infinity for this lens, which can be seen by eye. Then magnifying power, similar, the ratio of angle formed by the image to the angle formed by the object, or magnifying power is also represented by the length of image to the length of object. If alpha and beta is very small, then tan alpha equal to alpha and tan beta equal to beta, then m equal to tan beta upon tan alpha. Now calculate tan beta and tan alpha and putting these values in this equation and we get magnifying power this. FO plus FE equal to L. L means length of the telescope in normal adjustment. Next question, astronomical telescope, image formed at least distant at distinct vision. Same situation. This is the objective lens and light coming from the infinity parallel to each other, incident on the lens, and all rays after refraction meet at this point. That means for this objective lens, object at infinity and image at f0. And if any other eyepiece or eye lens introduced, then this is the object for the lens and image formed at AB. Means this is the virtual image formed at least distant at distinct vision D. Then similar process, m equal to beta upon alpha, m equal to tan b upon tan beta upon tan alpha. If alpha and beta are small, and calculate by the figure tan alpha and tan beta, putting this value and this value by the lens equation, 1 upon v minus 1 upon u equal to 1 upon f becomes, if u equal to minus ue, then distinct vision means v equal to minus d. So 1 upon ue equal to 1 upon fe plus 1 upon d, multiplying by f0 on both sides, then we get this relation. Clearly, focal length of objective must be greater than that of eyepiece for larger magnifying power. Also, it to be noted that in this case, capital M is larger than that in normal adjustment position. Next question, Newtonian telescope, in which one concave and plane mirror will be used. Now let us consider light coming from the star incident on a concave mirror. From this mirror, light incident on plane mirror and light reflect from this mirror incident on this eyepiece and light comes towards our eye. Means this is the reflective type telescope and its magnifying power m equal to f0 upon fe. Next, resolving power of microscope. The resolving power of microscope is defined as the reciprocal of distance between the two objects when can be just resolved when seen through the microscope. And resolving power of microscope is a reciprocal of 1 upon resolving limit. This resolving power of microscope is depends on the wavelength lambda, refractive index mu, third, half angle of the cone of the light from one of the objects theta. Next, resolving power of telescope. The resolving power of telescope is defined as the reciprocal of the smallest angular separation between the two distinct objects whose images are seen clearly. This is also resolving power equal to 1 upon resolving limit and shown by A upon 1.22 lambda. Resolving power depends again wavelength and diameter of the object. Now conclude of this chapter, we can discuss reflection, refraction, microscope and telescope. Thanks.
For latest videos and updates, like, share and subscribe. For instant notifications, press the bell icon.